Today on Fresno State Focus, reaction to the social media thread on campus this week.
Also, how Fresno State students are preparing for the 2016 presidential election.
Plus, the drought is putting even more regulations on water usage. Fresno State Focus starts now.
Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Janice Zaragoza.
And I'm Adriana Ferry. A male student stabbed 4 people at UC Merced this morning. It happened in front of the main classroom and office building. 2 of the victims were airlifted to the hospital and 2 were treated at the university. Campus police say they shot and killed the attacker. Officers will only say that he was 20 years old. Classes have been canceled and the entire campus is closed. Police sent out an alert this morning warning students to stay away.
It sucks that, these are real people, real students, and that the perpetrator was a student, was said to be a student too, so, we're just afraid that it's going to start, a ripple effect, and, other kids are going to start doing all these crazy things and hurting others.
Campus officials say the victims are 2 students, 1 staff member, and a vendor. All are expected to recover. Campus will remain closed tomorrow and reopen on Friday.
Students and faculty are talking about Monday's social media threat.
Several people are questioning why the suspect is already out of jail. Reporter Ciclalio Campo is here with more.
Thanks, Adriana. Fresno State football player Christian Pryor is facing state and possibly federal charges of making a terrorist threat. Police say he sent a threat over social media on Monday just before noon.
What started off as a normal rainy day at Fresno State turned out to be anything but that. An anonymous threat on Yik Yak said, "At 3 p.m. I will release my frustrations. My weapon of choice is an M4 carbine." Student Miguel Vera says the post sent students and faculty into a panic.
I heard it from multiple sources, my friends, professors, classmates. People are calling me right now to leave campus, so yeah, we're gonna leave.
Within minutes, classrooms and hallways emptied as some professors began to cancel class.
2 hours after the post, at 1:40 p.m., Fresno State Police sent out this text message. It says they're investigating a threat made on campus. But by then, it was too late. Many students had already made their own decision to leave campus, making safety their top priority.
30 minutes after the first alert, police announced they were interviewing a person of interest.
We took this information and quickly were able to track down the phone number that had delivered the Yik Yak. In working with the company itself from Yik Yak, we were able to get an IP address and more information.
20 minutes later, that IP address led to the arrest of 18-year-old Christian Pryor. Shortly after, he posted $20,000 bail. Many students didn't understand why he was released.
It's kind of crazy just because, even though he's not really, in school anymore, he could still, come back and do what he wanted to do.
Huerta says they didn't find any weapons, but that doesn't matter.
No tolerance right now in society for this kind of activity. There's zero. You just have to be foolish to think that you can do this and then get a pass.
Chief Huerta says Pryor is now back in Los Angeles with his family. He has been dismissed from the Fresno State football team. Adriana?
California State University faculty have voted in favor of a strike. Members of the California Faculty Association have been casting votes for the past month. Union officials say of the faculty who voted, 94% approved a strike if negotiations aren't successful. Money is the issue, and CSU is offering a 2% increase, but faculty members want 5%. The CFA has about 26,000 members throughout the state. Joining us this afternoon is Fresno State CFA President Diane Blair. Diane, thank you for being with us. I know you said it's your first time on live television, so you're happy we're here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so what does this mean for Fresno State?
Well, obviously a 94% yes vote means that the faculty across the CSU and also here at Fresno State feel like it's time for them to send a very strong message that we need a fair contract.
And were you surprised that 94% had voted?
You know, it didn't surprise me because the messages that I'd been hearing from faculty, the reality is that faculty have been sacrificing for a lot of years. And in the last 8 years, the majority of our faculty have only seen a 1.6% increase to their salaries.
Wow.
And we've had situations where faculty who have been teaching on campus at Fresno State for several years. We're actually making less than new faculty being hired into the system. And so the problem has been going on for a long time, and faculty recognized the need in some cases to sacrifice when we were experiencing budget cuts to the CSU. But this past year, the CSU was fully funded, and so faculty feel like it's time that the CSU starts reinvesting in those of us who are in the classroom.
And what do you think it would take for the CSU and faculty to reach an agreement?
Well, all we need is for the chancellor to reconsider his offer of a 2% general salary increase. We think a 5% general salary increase is fair, given the years of going without. And we also want to see a return of in-range step increases for eligible faculty so that we don't find ourselves in the same situation a few years down the road where we have all of these inequities built into our salary structure.
Right. Diane, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your time.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
We've been talking with Diane Blair, president of Fresno State's California Faculty Association.
The presidential election is heating up as we head into 2016. Philip Bonatti took a look at what Fresno State students are doing to prepare for this upcoming election.
Feel the burn. Make America great again. Slogans like these mean only one thing. Election season is upon us. But most college students aren't taking the opportunity to vote. For freshman student Noor Siddiqui, finding time to get the information can be difficult.
So busy with like schoolwork lately and stuff, I haven't really paid much attention to like that world or anything lately, but I do follow every now and then.
The world of politics is a very difficult one to understand. With the power of information, that world could be changing soon.
Well, college students, if they behaved as a voting bloc, so if we're talking essentially 18 to 24-year-olds, they have the ability to be really influential in elections.
Unfortunately, the voting turnout of students has been poor in the most recent elections. Dr. Bryant says that in the past election in 2012, only 15% of college students actually voted, and there are a few reasons behind that percentage.
We know that young people coming out of high school haven't really solidified their political opinions. They're really apathetic because they either just don't know a lot about politics, they don't really care a lot about politics, or they really just don't know what their actual attitudes are yet.
The problem most college students face when it comes to voting is that they go to college in the county that they don't reside in, therefore missing out on the vote.
ASI has been implementing a way for students to turn out for the vote. Caitlin Sims, Vice President of External Affairs, says there is one simple solution.
Updating your voter registration information. It's really easy to do. You go online, you do it, they mail you a piece of paper, you sign it, and you're good. If you're registered in Tulare or in Modesto or wherever your hometown is, you might want to update that so that come November you can vote there.
Students can register as many times as they want without any limitations. Sims says there are multiple websites that can provide the information students need before they go out and vote. Philip Bonatti, Fresno State Focus.
Outdoor water regulations have changed for Fresno and Clovis. Residents are now allowed to water only once a week on certain days, odd number addresses water on Saturdays, while even number homes water on Sundays. Rules are set through March 31st for Clovis and April 30th for Fresno. You can find the official regulations on fresno.gov under drought information. Coming up on Fresno State Focus, Shakespeare meets zombies for the popular production of the Midsummer Night's Dream.
Plus, why it's important to follow the wheels-off safety policy on campus. All that and more when we come back.
This is our Fresno State, forming relationships and learning experiences that last a lifetime, making friends who are like family, learning from professors who treat us like family, and earning a degree to make a better future for our family. Engaging our alumni generation by generation by generation. This is our Fresno State. Welcome to the family.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
Standing by. The Clovis Craft Beer Crawl is back in town for the second time this year. Participants can purchase a ticket and receive a wristband, a map, and a sampling glass. You then follow the map from store to store, visiting local breweries. Each vendor offered samples of their signature craft beers, and at the end of the day, beer crawlers vote for whose was the best. For the second time in a row, Black Ops Brewing Company took the cake. President and brewer at Black Ops shares the secret for this year's success.
This time I made a beer just special for it. So it was a special blend of hops that I got from Yakima Valley. So we won't make it again. It's beer you really probably won't ever find again.
Despite the name, there was fun here for all ages, including food trucks, live music, games, and even a photo booth. The University Theater has put a modern twist on one of Shakespeare's most popular productions. Watch as director Kathleen McKinley brings vampires and zombies to life on the set of A Midsummer Night's Dream.
What? Jealous over,
The University Theater put on a contemporary version of one of Shakespeare's most popular productions. Director Kathleen McKinley brought vampires, zombies, and electric dance music to the set of A Midsummer Night's Dream. This new concept introduces fairies like you've never seen before.
These Midsummer Night's Dream fairies, Tinkerbell, they are not. And I don't think anyone will have seen A Midsummer Night's Dream with enchanted fairies like these folks.
McKinley says the inspiration for this concept comes from a saga we know too well.
A lot of folks now will say, oh my goodness, that's old. But the kind of stylish, beautiful vampires of Twilight that were so popular and so pretty and so attractive.
The play covers the relationship between two young couples lost in an enchanted forest filled with zombies and creatures of the undead. Even if you have never watched a Shakespeare play, this production is exciting and easy to follow.
Sick when I do look on thee. There's the struggle between the king and the queen of the forest, who they are having relationship problems. So it's extreme circumstances, but you can really boil it down to experiences that everyone can relate to.
This will be the largest show the University Theater puts on this year. With over 20 cast members and 20 other crew members, McKinley says it is a great training tool for the students.
I am helping my students learn how to speak the language of Shakespeare, how to analyze the language of Shakespeare, and then how to take that into their characterization.
The play continues this week until November 7th, with shows starting at 7:30 p.m.
The Save Mart Center was filled with laughter last week when comedian Kevin Hart came to town for his What Now tour. Hart performed in front of a sold-out crowd and had only one request. No Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or any other social networks were permitted. Those caught using their cell phone were immediately kicked out. According to event security, 15 people were kicked out before Hart hit the stage. The comedian had brand new material that he said was not meant for anyone who wasn't there to enjoy it themselves. I'm Aldine Williams. That's it for your entertainment news. Now on to weather with Gilbert Magallon.
It's sweater weather here in the Central Valley and it's feeling kind of chilly. But before I can tell you more, let's take it over to the East Coast.
So there's not very much activity happening, but if we take a look on the southeast, there is a couple of rain scattered throughout. The real activity is happening over on the western part of the United States. So if we take a look, we have some rainfall from the north all the way down to the south. We even have some snow, which we even got here in California in our Sierra Nevada earlier when it rained this week. So taking a look at California, there's not very much activity happening right now, but there's actually a low pressure system moving its way, giving us our fall weather and those cooler temperatures. We also need to take a look at this up here in the north, some activity that's going to come all the way down and through California, which is going to give us colder temperatures, and it's also probably going to give us some rain in our next work week. So for today, we are in the mid to lower 60s, and we're probably going to get a little chillier next week. If you're going to go out, you're probably going to need a sweater as well. So air quality is good throughout the board, and that's because of the rain we did get earlier. Hopefully we get some more rain, and it continues to stay good. Right now it's 58 degrees outside with a nice calm wind coming in from the northwest at 6 miles per hour and a relative humidity of 62%. So right now, as I mentioned before, it's pretty chilly outside, mostly sunny with the temperatures or a high today of 60 degrees. Tomorrow's not going to be very different as well. It's going to be a little higher, but it's not going to be that big of a difference. Now we are going to get a change in the weekend where it's going to be sunny, but temperatures are going to be mid to high 60s, still going to be kind of cold. Sun's not going to make that big of a difference. The real change now and fun is going to happen when we go into our next work week. That low pressure system is going to make its way through California. We're going to have some showers. Temperatures are going to dip under the 60s, so if it didn't feel like fall, then it definitely will. That's all for weather, and now back to you, Adriana and Janet.
Thanks, Gilbert. As the holidays draw near, many people worry they aren't going to be able to put food on the table. But one organization is here to help people who are going through difficult times. Joining us now is Judy Hudson with Catholic Charities. Hi, it's nice to have you here today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So tell us, how bad is it here for people in the Valley?
Well, you know what, we are always struggling, especially when we are, facing another year of drought. That means that there's higher unemployment for our families, and just making ends meet is really difficult for them. So it's very important for organizations like Catholic Charities to have food drives, because it really helps to put the community awareness out there, and so everybody can, feel like they can help and be part of the solution.
Can you tell us about next weekend's food drive?
Yes, I'd love to. It's our 7th annual River Park Food Drive. It will be held at the H&M Parking Lot Center. We'll have our Catholic Charities truck out there. It's on Saturday and Sunday from 8 to 5, and we're looking for volunteers, and especially we're looking for people to come out and donate. And I'd like to do a really great shout out to Sigma Chi fraternity here, the pledge class. They have started a GoFundMe account. So if you go on to our Catholic Charities Facebook page, you can see it, donate, and help support Fresno State and Catholic Charities as well.
Have you visited that website yourself? Have you been seeing a rise in those numbers?
As far as the pledge and the support?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, they just started a couple days ago, and I think they're already at $200+. So it's wonderful to see students and people in our community really get involved and take care of their brothers and sisters here, their neighbors.
Okay. For those people that want to donate cans, what cans in particular can they donate?
So non-perishable goods, look in your pantry. I'm sure you've got an extra, can of vegetables, got rice, beans, non-perishable items, those type of things that can go for a long shelf life.
Okay, it was nice having you here today.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. We've been talking with Jody Hudson from Catholic Charities.
The Wheels Off policy has been in effect on certain areas of campus for over 30 years. Within the last year, there has been an effort to increase awareness for the policy for everyone's safety.
One after another, students ride their skateboards, bikes, segways, and scooters through campus. The only problem? These methods of transport have turned into a campus safety risk. Donnie Golden is a technician in the Department of Chemistry. He says there have been multiple incidents in McLean Hall, one in particular involving a bicyclist and sensitive chemicals.
He wasn't able to come to complete stop, but he did make contact with the cart of chemicals enough that one on the end tipped over and the top of the bottle actually cracked its lid off, plastic lid on a glass bottle, and began to spill some contents onto the ground.
No one was injured by the spill, but Golden says it was enough for him to recognize that there was a problem. To help prevent the issue, certain areas of campus have been marked with wheels off signage.
important to note the wheels off areas for your safety and the safety of others.
Manager of Environmental Health and Safety, Lisa Kao, says she hopes the signs and borders encourage students to be respectful of others.
Try to imagine yourself as a person who may be having accessibility issues getting through there, or if you're deaf or blind, and it can be disconcerting to have somebody zip around you.
Cesar Casas says he's one of the skaters who supports the rule and gets off his board in the marked areas.
I think it's pretty cool. It kind of, I guess it's safe for both the rider and the people that are around you.
While there are several students like Cesar who get off their wheels when they hit the red border, Golden says there's still room for improvement.
We're trying to police this, trying to monitor this, because it is a serious problem. There is serious potential for disaster. It's not, because it would mess up the tiles of the floor. It's not because, you're scuffing up the floor. It's because there are some.
If you want to take a look, the official rule for wheel devices is available on Fresno State's website under University Policies and Procedures. And coming up in sports, we'll be speaking with the voice of Bulldogs, Paul Leffler.
Plus, see how the Fresno State basketball team prepares for the upcoming season. Stay tuned for sports with Philip Bonatti.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that Bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Up in my head to say. I got that Bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that Bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that Bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Deep in my heart. Down in my toes. I got that Bulldog spirit. All over me. All over me to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit.
Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. I got that Bulldog spirit.
Welcome to sports. I'm your host, Philip Bonatti. The women's basketball team is eager to start the new season, which begins with an exhibition game versus Cal State East Bay on Friday night. The women's team finished third in the conference last year and lost their first Mountain West tournament game in school history. The Dogs have lost key seniors like Robin Draper, Raven Fox, and leading scorer Alex Sheedy. Coach Jamie Wright is confident in the returning players.
Having Tony Smith back and having her presence is a big deal, and then also obviously Alex Furr and her just her experience in winning.
Consecutive postseason appearances, most recently being a trip to the NIT tournament. Make sure to head out to the Save Mart Center to root on the team. With the transition from fall to winter, that means the football season is coming to a close and basketball season is starting up. Joining us is the man who knows the Bulldogs the best, the voice of Fresno State, Paul Leffler. Thank you for joining us, Paul.
My pleasure, Philip.
Thank you. Well, let's start with football. We have a game tomorrow. The team is 2-6, not particularly where fans want the team to be, but what can fans look forward to tomorrow night's game?
Well, one of the things that was just announced, they can look forward to seeing Captain Pete Dern from the Fresno Fire Department there. Everyone's followed his incredible story, and it'll be an electric and emotional moment in Bulldog Stadium when he's recognized. From a football perspective, you have a chance to see seniors who are only going to have 2 more home games. Martez Waller, Adro Ederaine, Charles Washington. One of the last chances you have to see them, and when it's Nevada and Fresno State, it's always a great game.
With these last 4 games, how important is it to get on that momentum to close out the season, despite it being maybe a lost season?
Well, the players still believe, hey, if they win out, they can get to a bowl game. I know that's a long road to hoe, but that's what they're trying for. I think just some confidence. You get that one win, that's going to lead to another one. You need a little confidence to get yourself going.
Well, let's transition to the men's team now in basketball. Finished with a winning record in the Mountain West Conference this last year. Is that something they can build off of into this coming season?
I'm really excited about the basketball team, Philip, because they have talent, they have depth, they have experience at a level we haven't seen at Fresno State in a long, long time. From what I've seen in the early season practices, they have great chemistry as a team as well. I think this is the year we're going to see that Save Mart Center fill up again, and we're going to see Fresno State back in the postseason in basketball.
And they've got a great player as well, Marvell Harris, preseason all-conference player of the year. What does that mean to have a guy like that on our team?
You know, Marvell is the complete package. Last year he had to play the point a little bit early on. It made him a more well-rounded player. He's come back in better shape. He's a great shooter. He can score. He's physical. He really does it all for this team. He sets the tone. And most importantly, he's got a lot of backup, including a post presence this year. So I think he'll have a great year. I think the team's going to have a special year.
Well, I'd like to thank you for joining us here today on Fresno State Focus. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
We've been talking to Paul Leffler. Well, with the Fresno State men's basketball season right around the corner, the guys are preparing for what could be a special season. Kaylina Speakman got an in-depth look at the team.
After finishing last season 15-17 overall and 10-8 in their conference, the Fresno State men's basketball team is looking forward to a new season. Every hope is that this season is better than the last. Junior forward Caracciotto is confident in what his team can bring.
More dunks. I can say that for sure. More excitement, entertainment, more wins, and hopefully the NCAA. Get to the NCAA.
The Fresno State Bulldogs have a lot of hype going into this season. Earlier in the preseason, senior guard Marvell Harris became the third Bulldog ever to be named Mountain West Preseason Player of the Year, a title head coach Rodney Terry was proud of.
Well, I mean, anytime you have a guy that's a preseason player of the year in your league, it brings great notoriety to your program. Speaks a lot of what he's been able to do over the course of his career. The 4 years here, he's gotten better each and every year, and I look for him to be a good leader for us this year on and off the court.
Point guard Cesar Guerrero says this team is all about hard work and preparation. They're constantly setting goals for themselves to be better. This is something that will pay off in the end.
This year we have a lot of veterans, and just with a lot of new faces that we have, they bring a lot of talent to our group, and I mean, the sky's the limit for us.
You can catch your Bulldogs in action this Friday night in an exhibition matchup against Dominican at the Save Mart Center. Tip-off slated for 7 p.m. Reporting from practice, Kaylina Speakman, Fresno State Focus.
Fresno State's Henry Madden Library has officially extended its hours. As of November 2nd, the library will remain open until midnight 5 days a week, Monday through Thursday and Sundays, throughout the fall and spring semester. Library administration is still debating if the building will stay open even later during finals. The library will be closed for Veterans Day on November 11th and during Thanksgiving recess. I don't know about you guys, but I spend all of my time at the library.
Oh my goodness, that's the staple to go to when you're a student here at Fresno State.
That's actually pretty good that they're extending their hours. You know, it gives the opportunity for other people to go in there and, learn and just.
Are any of you guys going to the game tomorrow night against Nevada?
Maybe.
I wish.
Yeah. I know it's on a school night. It's a little busy, but
a little hard to go when you have work.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we should expect some good things with our team, but we should be pretty good tomorrow night. Nevada's a good game.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
On the next edition of Fresno State Focus, see how Fresno celebrated Dia de los Muertos.
Plus, we will take you on a flight with the Fresno State skydiving team.
Also, I'll give you an inside look on the struggles farm workers face in the winter.
From all of us here at Fresno State Focus, I'm Adriana Ferry. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.